Welcome in on Scotty Sports Network, of course, live from Hartman Arena in Park City, Kansas, for the Region 6 Championship Showdowns. Highland Community College men's and women's basketball teams are both in action today. Women tip off at 1 o'clock, so here shortly. Of course, the men will tip off shortly after that at 3 o'clock. The women face off against Johnson County. The men get a matchup against Labette. Talking about those women, of course, they have had an exceptional season thus far. As you see some of the gals warming up here on the court to get prepared for the action, taking on Johnson for the third time. But looking at the Scotty season thus far, 31-0 record, the longest winning streak in school history, have set a multitude of records. Most points scored for a 30-game season, least points scored for a 30 points, or least points given up, of course, for a 30-point season as well. And we look at, ranked third in the country, 101.7 points per game, shoot nearly 50% from the floor. Ranked top in the country in the NJCAA Division II level, of course, for several different categories, including turnovers forced. And the Scotties trying to get back to the national tournament for the first time since 2014. And that leads me to who they've got to take care of and beat again for the third time this season. That's Johnson County. Johnson County has been an opponent that has been a thorn in the side of Highland Community College women's basketball over the last few years, but of course that opponent and matchup has been good ones as well. This year, Highland swept the season series, winning 108-65 at home back on January the 27th. Got a strong second and third quarter, and of course forced 30-some turnovers as Mariani De Carvalho and Nicole Himalio 25 points apiece in that ball game there. Then they followed that up with a 20-point victory at Johnson, 86-66. February 14th, that game was, in a strong third quarter yet again in that showdown. Blaze Burgess reined in 24 points, a lot of threes to get those points, of course, in that ball game there. The difference in those two ball games was the point guard being in the action for Johnson County the second time around at home for them. We'll see if that plays a factor again today. Johnson was able to take care of the ball better the second time around when they played. Highland, of course, predicated on forcing those turnovers, giving up and forcing 31 turnovers per contest thus far this year. They'll try to speed up Johnson, turn those turnovers into points, and turn that into a victory and continue their season, go to the national tournament, and go to Arkansas in a couple of weeks if they can get there, win number 32 of the season. Now let's jump to the men's basketball scene. Of course, the men are 24-7. They have 24 wins for the second consecutive year, and the men have a great season yet again. 24 wins last year was the most since 1983 for the Scotty men's basketball program. So now back-to-back years with 24 wins for the Scotties, who are currently ranked 18th in the NJCAA Division II rankings, averaging nearly 83 points per game and shooting 47 points on the field thus far this year. Region semifinals matchup was a 7-point win against Fort Scott. That was a victory for Highland to get to this point, and now that leads to them to this matchup here. A bit of an upset in the other side of the bracket, leading to the opponent for Highland today. Just a 16-16 record for Labette, who upset Johnson County on the road to get to this Region 6 Championship Showdown. So a little bit of an interesting one to see that it's Labette. Many thought it would be Johnson on the men's side as well against Highland, but instead it's going to be Labette and the Scotties for today's showdown for the men's basketball matchup. Labette, as I mentioned, is just 16-16 on this season. You look at the matchups, the two previous ones this year, down in Parsons, it was a just 4-point win, 74-70, if I can spit it out right. Of course, was the final score there. Highland utilized strong three-point shooting, 12 of 31 in that showdown to earn the win, but only by 4. They handled business a little bit easier at home, 91-69, as they were able to take care of business there. The three ball was, again, a prevalent factor for Highland against Labette at home as well. So we'll see if they can rein in trifectas, but also just try to take care of Labette and what they're able to provide for themselves over the course of the year. Won't be an easy task. Labette obviously playing some of their best basketball entering today despite that 16-16 record. Don't let that deceive you. They will be a tough team for Highland to take down as the Highland men look for their first trip to the national tournament since 2011. So it's been a little while since Highland men and women have been to the national tournament, but both have a great shot today for the Scotties to come out with the Scotty sweep and trips to the national tournament. So thanks for, of course, taking the time to join us here at Hartman Arena in Park City, as we'll have a lot of great stuff going on. You can watch, of course, not on the Scotty Sports Network, but go to the Jayhawk Conference website. kjccc.org, and you'll be able to find the links there to be able to watch the streams of today's ball game. So, of course, we're just giving you some pregame here of the action, kind of previewing the matchups. Already a great crowd on hand on the far side over there for a bus trip down all the way from Highland, as Tyler Norman behind the camera and the cast and crew as well, doing a great job with providing some coverage of today's affairs. Again, if you would like to watch the streams, we will not provide the streams on Scotty Sports Network today, but we will have them on the Jayhawk Conference website. They'll do a great job, produce that with multiple camera angles, I believe, but kjcc.org for the website to find the links, or ScottyAthletics.com, of course. On each schedule page, there's a watch link on the bottom of the schedule pages there. Always ScottyAthletics.com for all of your Highland Community College athletic coverage. Thanks for tuning in right here on our pregame from Hartman Arena. I'm Mike Smith.